Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Report. Celtics winners once again, keeping this win streak rolling. 140-105 over the Hornets, who didn't really show up with anybody in this game. Josue Pavon back from his Thanksgiving break.
Yes.
Good to have him back.
Great to be back. Great to be back, Bobby.
And Celtics, they remain here, just as dominant offensively as they've ever been. They sit Jaylen Brown as well as Al Horford in this game. And yeah, you kind of knew from the rhythm that Joe Mazzulla has built so far this year that they were going to start Blake Griffin in Horford's place, who hasn't played prior to tonight since November 16th in that Hawks game. Hasn't played much this season at all, but in a couple games, I think of that Knicks one where they broke the three-point record, we have seen him come, provide some energy, hits a three to start this game, grabs a couple offensive rebounds on I think the third or fourth possession of the game, chasing them down, tipping them out, and then to end the second quarter, runs baseline and does what we weren't sure he was able to do anymore. Catch an alley-oop with one hand and throw it down. A great night for Blake, 9 points, 4 rebounds. But what impressed you most about his performance here?
Just his overall awareness, honestly, to get things off to the right start. I mean, obviously that three-pointer was the very first bucket that he made, first shot of the night for the Celtics. But just in general, when Al's not available, for him to be, in the lineup, be productive, whether it's rebounding, whether it's grabbing that offensive rebound, which I thought was important as well, because you're creating new opportunities. You're giving the offense another chance to reset, and you saw the crowd just really into it. And I just think it translates to how the players feel about Blake, who he is as a teammate, who he's been for this team in terms of being someone in the locker room that guys can talk to, guys can laugh with. And when he's out there, when he's starting, when Al is out and he has to fill in, guys want him to succeed. And you can see that. And for him to hit that three from the jump and to just overall give that offense that vibe, give this team that spark that they needed. And obviously the Hornets never led once in this game. And I just think it's great for Blake. And it speaks to who he's been for this team.
He fits in. He keeps Luke with that second unit. I don't mind it. And, this signing's really grown on me. I didn't love it. But the fact that it's allowed Luke to step into that position, given that it's not a guy who's going to be begrudging a lack of minutes or, spiteful about his role on the team.
Right.
He knew what he was coming into. He knew he'd have to compete. And it didn't go his way, but he still handled it well. He talked a lot in the locker room about the role that he's playing on this team off the floor. Here's what he had to say.
What kind of things are you telling him and some of the other guys on the bench there? It feels like you're just kind of always in guys' ears on this team.
Yeah, just like things can change in the blink of an eye in the NBA. You can get thrown into a game. Him and Luke got thrown into the game in the third quarter against whoever that was. They played Sacramento, and they changed the game. And those things matter, and those things matter to coaching staffs, and fans see that. People appreciate that. This fan base appreciates guys that play hard. So really, before every game, I talk to everybody. I always tell them something, and my message to Peyton is just like stay locked in and do what you do. That's all he has to do.
So he threw down another dunk right before halftime. Celtics ended up winning by as many as 40 in this game. And they're just dominant throughout. Nice to see him get involved throughout the flow of it. And Joe said after the game, like a big reason that he throws him into these spots is how well he's handled his role on the team and, how he stayed in different guys' ears. And he likes some of the stuff that he's given them on the floor as well. He thinks there's going to be moments where they need Blake.
Right. And I think that's true. I mean, you want to obviously keep him fresh. I think it's going to be one of those things where, again, he's being the fill-in guy to obviously keep Al fresh as well for the long run. And he's just someone that this team can rely on. And that's what you want at the end of the day. I mean, that's what we're talking about going into the regular season. No one expected Blake to be a guy the Celtics are going to lean on to be their seventh or eighth guy and has to be productive night in and night out. But what he is somewhat of an insurance policy, but at the same time, he's also productive in a way. And again, how he speaks to guys in the locker room, the camaraderie. I mean, someone who can obviously show up when you need him to, and obviously a guy who's never been as close to the NBA Finals as we would have imagined when he played in all those great Los Angeles Clippers teams, blowing those 3-1 leads and how close those guys came. I mean, I think there's something to be said about guys who saw Blake during his prime and know where he is in the stage of his career, but it's also a credit to Blake for knowing where he is in this stage of his career and accepting that role and thriving in it. A lot of guys, former All-Stars. I mean, what's Blake, 32, 33? It's not like he's, hovering over 40 years old. So I think it's also a testament to who he is as a professional and taking on this role and just doing the most with it. And it really is something that's significant for the Celtics team, I think.
35 for Tatum in this one. He didn't even take the podium. Everyone was just excited about all the contributors along the edges of the roster in this game. And it's nice to see the bench emerge over the last couple of weeks here. Malcolm Brogdon actually said after the last game, the teams are really starting to plan for the Celtics bench. He's seeing them throw some starters out there to counteract them. And, Blake telling Pritchard, Luke, these other guys to stay ready after a drop-off in minutes. They saw that, he said, on Friday when they threw them into the game against the Kings and they turned the game around. So big impact off the floor from Blake. Continue to watch it. It'll be cool to see him go play the Clippers as well next month and return to LA. Nice to have him here, a guy like that who just has this great pedigree in the league. And we're brought to you by Athletic Greens.
Yes.
athleticgreens.com/garden. Get 5 free travel packs as well as a year's supply of immune-boosting vitamin D, the cool bottle that you drink it in, throw it in there with your water every morning. That's all it takes to get the vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, probiotics, and more that you need. That's athleticgreens.com/garden, as well as calm.com/garden. Big deal. It's Christmas season. You're stressed. The weather's getting worse, getting dark earlier. You got to boost yourself mentally, and they give you all kinds of ways. Big way is sleep. We're going to get those sleep sounds going tonight and catch up on some sleep, getting out of here early tonight.
Absolutely.
calm.com/garden, 40% off your premium subscription for Josue Pavon, Bobby Manning. Go check out that Blake Griffin interview on CLNS Media and subscribe to us on Celtics All Access.